In this video, we are going to look into what will happen after an invoice gets paid using the Stripe payment option, how Sage 50 will automatically record the payment transaction, and one way that we can record the cash received when it reaches our bank. In our example, we are going to create two invoices for two separate clients. For example, we are going to create invoice 1 for client A and invoice 2 for client B. Both invoices were created on the same day and for the same amount. So we'll start by entering the invoice number, date, amount, and then we are going to add the HST charged on sales. In our example is 13%. Now we will have the total amount of the invoices. After that, we are going to email the invoices to our clients, making sure that these boxes have check marks to include Pay Now option in the email to accept online payments. Then we'll have to enter the email addresses of the clients and send it to them. Once they are going to receive the invoices, they will have the Pay Now button option where they can enter the payment information and make payment online. Now let us follow what will happen from the Stripe point of view when the two clients will make payments online immediately after they receive the two invoices, which is, let us say, October 11th of 2024. So from the Stripe point of view, the total amount of each invoice were successfully processed and on the exact date of October 11, 2024. So normally we are going to expect to receive the total amount of both invoices on October 11, 2024, while in reality this amount will not be received in total. And of course, the day that we are going to receive the cash in bank will be much later than October 11, 2024. And now let us follow what will happen in Sage 50 accounting software. So if we create a customer age detail report, we will find that both invoices were paid automatically by the system. So these two payment transactions were entered automatically by the system, and the system entered that both invoices were paid in full on October 11, 2024. Of course, the report will show that there weren't any outstanding invoices, which is true because the clients already paid the invoices. But in reality, we did not receive the full amount of each invoice yet. And in reality, we did not receive any cash payment on October 11, 2024 yet. And now let's check the invoices. Remember, when we created the invoices, they were both pay later. We entered the invoice number, date, amount, and 13% HST charged on sales. So the journal entry would be debit the accounts receivable for the total amount of the invoice, then credit the sales revenue for the subtotal amount, and also credit the HST charged on sales for the HST amount. Now the system will automatically stamp both invoices as paid. And now we are going to review the payment transaction that was automatically recorded by the system. First, we are going to notice that the system will record the receipt as an online payment. Remember, it was not paid by cash. It was not paid by a check or a credit card, but it was paid by an online payment. Second, we are going to notice that the system will deduct the processing fees. The date of the receipt will be October 11, 2024, and the system will record the invoice as paid in full. Now let us compare the journal entry of the first and the second invoice. First, we are going to debit the expense account of the online payment fees, and then remove the rest of the amount from the accounts receivable by crediting the accounts receivable and debiting another asset receivable account, which is called the online payment receivable. As for this second invoice, it will have the same journal entry, but we will notice that the amounts were different. And now let us review the Stripe transactions report to better understand the details of the transactions that were automatically created by the system. So as we can see that invoice number 1 was charged on October 11, and invoice number 2 was charged on October 11. The only difference was an extra one-time charge for the climate contribution to one of the invoices. So that's why we can see the difference in the amount of the fees and the total amount of both invoices. So at the beginning, we expected that both invoices will be paid in full. So this is the amount that we expected, but actually we are going to receive this amount in cash in our bank, and the difference will be the total amount of the fees of both invoices and the climate contribution that were deducted. After we receive the cash in the bank, we have to record the cash transaction in order to reconcile the bank account. And one way that we can do that is by creating a general journal. In our example, the cash amount was deposited on October the 18th of 2024. In this case, we are going to create a general journal, and the date would be the 18th of October 2024. Remember that we have the online payment receivable asset debit account for this amount, waiting until the cash would be deposited in the bank. In this case, we are going to credit the whole amount of this online payment receivable account and debit the checking account for the cash received. We are going to debit the expense account of interest and bank charges for the amount of the climate contribution deducted. Now, after we post the general journal, we are going to expect that the online payment receivable asset account will not appear on the balance sheet anymore.